Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Indie Hour. My name is Ryan, and on this week's episode, I'm going to be highlighting some new covers in the indie and alternative genre, as well as some new original music as well. And at the very end, I'll be hyping up my first ever little bonus episode, so make sure you watch the whole thing, or watch till the end at least, so you can hear some more details about that. Alright, let's get it started off with some new covers this week. First off, we had a band that is one of my favorites in the indie and alternative genre. That group, of course, being Two Door Cinema Club. They did a cover of a John Lennon song titled Isolation. Good song to pick during these times. Either the band or probably a lot of people out there was probably starting to feel a bit isolated. So, probably a lot of, like I said, a lot of people feeling isolated, or the band, to maybe feel that isolation of the normal world. So overall with this song, I'm kind of conflicted on if I like this cover or not, because on the one hand, I do like the overall sound of this cover. It sounds very modern. It sounds like what you would expect from a Two Door Cinema Club song if you're a fan of them. But one of the things that, in my opinion, makes a good cover is that the band who is covering the original song has to kind of make it their own, add something original to it. It's by no means an easy task, but with this cover, it's my biggest complaint. I don't like how the lead singer's vocals, he just kind of borrowed. He didn't really add anything of his own. It sounded a bit like he was copying just kind of John Lennon's style, and doesn't really try to take any risks to make it his own thing. So I'm a little torn on whether or not I enjoy this song. I'd be interested to know in the comments if you enjoyed it, if you had a chance to listen to it. But moving right along to a cover that I did really enjoy this week, it was Sharon Van Etten. She teamed up with, of course, Josh Homme to cover Elvis Costello and the Attraction song, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. Why I enjoyed this cover a lot more is because it definitely meets the criteria of making the cover something different. The song is slowed down more to kind of make it this more dramatic feeling. Her singing is a lot more emotional than the Costello version. Overall, just a fantastic cover. And the fantastic covers do not stop there, as I made sure to include two other covers that I enjoyed in the genre. The first one being Florence and the Machine's cover of Stand By Me, which they did for Final Fantasy XV. If you're not familiar with that franchise, it's a legendary video game series that I believe started in like the 80s and is still going to this day. So that's something cool that I never knew about, that the fact that they did music for such a large video game franchise. Second cover that I really enjoyed, which I wanted to include, which I totally forgot about until I started thinking about covers within the genre, it would have to be Lord's version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World for the film Hunger Games: Catching Fire, which is the second movie in the trilogy. Totally love this one. Basically everything Lord does is great, including this cover. So with all the cover songs out of the way, let's get into some new original stuff. And I would say the biggest release that we had this week, 1975 with their new song, Guys. Really love the kind of simple and repetitive guitar you hear throughout this song. And to be honest, when I first listened to this, I really didn't understand what the song was trying to say. I thought it was kind of silly. There was a lyric in there like, I was missing the guys. And I thought it was like the meme, oh, missing the homies or whatever. So again, I initially laughed at that, but the more I dive into the lyrics, it is such an open and heart-wrenching song talking about, a time in your life where everything was so good and just felt so right. And now looking back on that can cause such painful memories. For me personally, that's something that I deal with from time to time. I think we all do. So it was a really great song. So hats off to the 1975, another great single from them. We also got another great single from a fantastic band who I definitely think you should check out more of their work. But the new single we got from the Beths, and it's called I'm Not Getting Excited. When this is absolutely typical Beths fashion. It comes out absolutely rocking. It has this great lick around 30 seconds into the song where they do this, where the distortion, I should say, of the guitar, they kind of change it up and the strumming pattern becomes way more frantic and then just goes back into the groove. It's such a cool technique that I thought was really interesting, having played a little guitar myself, I should say. The last new song I want to talk about, overall, I should say, closing notes, great jam song. And the last song I want to talk about this week is from an artist I did not know before this. It's Moses Sumney, who released the second part to one of his albums titled Gray. So it's kind of funny how he named it. He just called it Gray. And the first part was Gray Part 1, so I don't know whether the Part 2 was lost or not, so assuming for artistic reasons, but again, ignoring the naming of the album, I was super impressed by this album, and the song I picked from it, which is Color, again, another funny spelling, it's spelled Colour, so I guess it's called Collar or what, it doesn't really matter. It's a great song. I'm not completely sure again how you spell it, but it's this such unique, it starts off with this jazz part that I really love. It sounds to me like a saxophone mixed in with some reverb that really draws you in to the rest of the song, and the person's vocals mixed with the different elements I talked about makes for such a beautiful song. And an artist I'm definitely going to be keeping up with, and I hope you do as well. So, like I said, there's some other great songs in this playlist as well. And like I said at the beginning of the show, so one of the interesting things I'm going to be doing to look out for this Wednesday, of course, is I'm going to be doing, so I don't know if you've seen on social media, I first saw it on Twitter, I think that's where it's got its start, but who knows. It's the festival kind of like name game. So what users have been doing is, so for instance, my name's Ryan, so I would take the first letter of my name, R, and I would find a band that matches up with it. So, for instance, for R, I could do Rex Orange County, Radiohead, Rah Rah Riot, whatever. So that's what I'm going to be doing Wednesday. I had a lot of fun making this, and I would encourage you watching this to do it too. It's really interesting. It's really fun. I have some repeats in my name too, so that helps if like I had a tough A, which A artist do I use and stuff. So that's going to be something fun, a little bonus episode for you coming Wednesday. That being said, that's all I've really got. So yeah, that's all I really got this week. Like I said, be sure to check out that episode coming Wednesday. I got nothing left to say, so until next time, be sure to take it easy.